quarters. We shall take you to the Alisa Hotel where the minority leader Alexander Fenyomakene is speaking.
Chair Council of Patrons, Chair Presidential Elections Committee, the IGP and members of the Police Management Board, members of the Peace Council, presidential aspirants, Council of Elders, national officers, colleague leaders in Parliament, and members of the Minority Caucus, patrons, and members of the media. Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day. And surely, none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let us therefore rise above anger. Let us rise above insults. Let us rise above short-term emotions for long-term victory. Let us protect the party that has given us voice, purpose, and hope. And when the contest is over, let us close ranks, lock arms, and march forward together, stronger, wiser, and united towards victory 2028. Our future depends on it. Our party depends on it. And Ghana is counting on us. Acting Chair, colleagues here gathered, political competition is a necessary and healthy feature of every democracy. However, it is how that competition is managed, particularly in moments of heightened ambition and strong emotion, that defines the maturity of a political party and ultimately the stability of the nation. Internal party elections are not merely contests among individuals. They are tests of institutional strength, discipline, and commitment to shared values. The choice to focus on peace at this stage is therefore both timely and commendable. Peace does not happen by accident. It is the product of deliberate leadership, clear rules, mutual respect, and a collective decision to place the long-term interests of the party and the country above short-term personal gain. Ghana's democracy has been sustained over the years because political actors across party lines have repeatedly demonstrated restraint in movements that could easily have descended into conflict. This reputation has not come cheaply. It must not be taken for granted. Distinguished aspirants, your supporters look to you not only for vision and policy ideas, but for cues on conduct. The tone you set will be a tone that filters down to the grassroots. When leaders speak with restraint, supporters listen with restraint. I humbly, therefore, on behalf of the mighty 87 in Parliament, urge all aspirants to conduct their campaigns with civility, respect for internal regulations, and unwavering commitment to peaceful engagements. Disagreements are inevitable in any competitive process, but they must be managed through dialogue, establish mechanisms, and the authority of the party's institutions, not through public confrontation, insinuation, or rhetorics that deepen divisions. Today is not an ordinary party ritual. It is a test of leadership and patriotism. This Peace Pact is not only about who wins on January 31st. It is about whether on 1st February and beyond, the NPP will still be strong, united, and credible in the eyes of Ghanaians. Ghana is watching a party that has, at its best, delivered significant reforms. Talk of the free SHS, talk of the health insurance, talk of the industrialization drive, 1D, 1F. Ghana is also watching a party that is anxious, polarized, and yearning for competent, honest, visionary leadership again. The stakes are higher than the ambitions of any single aspirant in this room. Unity and the cause of division. Let's note, the history of this tradition teaches us a simple truth. Whenever the NPP is united, it is formidable, and whenever it is divided, it bleeds, and Ghana pays the price. Remember the 1979 election, the PFP and the UNC. The rest we all know. Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was saddened hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is conduct. It is a discipline to disagree without destroying one another. The humility to accept outcomes we may not like, and the maturity to place the national project above personal disappointment. Every single insult traded, every unsubstantiated allegation, every attempt to demonize a rival today becomes a weapon in our opponent's hand tomorrow. At this delicate moment, the internal division heralding the 31st January contest are not confined within the walls of this party. They spill over into the nation's governance. A fractured NPP does not only risk losing another election, it weakens Parliament's ability, especially the mighty minority's ability, to stand as a bulwark against excesses, impunity, and bad governance. When leading figures are at war with each other, when energies are spent on intra-party skirmishes instead of national oversight, the NDC government and the majority in Parliament are given a free pass. As your caucus in Parliament is determined to repeat the industry of the J.H. Mensah 1997 group of 61, we must say that our ability to act with vigilance, cohesiveness, and fearlessness in holding the current administrative to account shall materially depend on the unity that we carry to do our work in Parliament. That duty will be undermined when indeed the internal contest is poisoned by mistrusts, name-calling, and threats of retribution. A house divided at the grassroots and in the leadership ranks cannot be a formidable opposition in Parliament. Every time party actors choose internal sabotage over solidarity, they blunt the sharp edge of the minority's oversight. When committees need unified backing to investigate corruption, when critical votes demand tight coordination, and when national crises call for clear, united voice, internal fractures translate into parliamentary weakness. Let no one deceive themselves. The divisions surrounding this primary go beyond party offices. They risk crippling the mighty minority's collective and effective ability to check the Mahama administration and the majority in Parliament. If this primary becomes a festival of insult instead of a contest of ideas, if it leaves behind bitterness instead of brotherhood, then the real victor will not be any aspirant on this stage. The real victor will be a complacent government and a comfortable majority who knows that a divided NPP cannot credibly challenge them on corruption, economic hardship, and institutional decay. As presidential hopefuls, you are not just candidates, you are standard bearers of the NPP tradition. Your words can inflame or calm. Your body language can reconcile or rupture. Before January 31st, your responsibility, my dear aspirant, is to campaign on ideas, record, and vision, not on insult, threats, and division. Your teams must be guided by discipline in their messaging and respect in their engagements. On 31st January, you must submit fully to the agreed processes, respect the Electoral Committee, obey security directives, and ensure your supporters avoid intimidation, vote buying, and violence. After January 31st, your obligation is to accept the verdict of the delegate with dignity, whether it favors you or not, and to work publicly and unequivocally with the elected flag bearer. A peace pact that ends with signatures but not with changed behavior is a betrayal of this moment and of Ghana. If this peace pact is to have meaning, it must translate into clear commitments. 1, refrain from personal attacks and character assassination, focusing instead on policies and competence and vision. To reject violence, intimidation, and any ethnic or regional incitement. To use internal party mechanisms, not public warfare, to resolve grievances. To stand together with elected flag bearer within days of the result, and to integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Emphasis: integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Ghana needs this party back, not as a wounded, quarreling organization, but as a renewed, united, serious alternative. The country does not need leaders who are prisoners of their egos. It needs leaders who are servants of the Republic. To conclude, let me respectfully and humbly, but with firmness, submit to our aspirants. Your greatest legacy will not be whether you became a flag bearer. It will be whether your conduct helped preserve and strengthen this tradition and empower the mighty minority to hold this government to account. To the leadership of our party, enforce these commitments fairly and firmly. To the grassroots, refuse to be used as instruments of division. Let this peace pact be more than ink and handshakes. Let it be a covenant with delegates, with this tradition, and with the people of Ghana. That this party will be worthy of another opportunity to serve. And that, united, it will equip the mighty minority to fearlessly defend the Republic of Ghana. Thank you so much for your kind audience, and God bless our party.
Thank you very much. That was the minority leader. Would now like to invite, finally, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, a slight change in the program. We'll go ahead with the second part of the program, and His Excellency would address us after that. So I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, Richard, as he manages and takes us through the very important part of the program, the Peace Pact document. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tibodako. Thank you all. Very supportive and very strong messages have come. Please, can we be quiet? We're still advancing, and perhaps this is the most important part of the program. So let's manage the noise. The story we are writing here today has 3 legs, and the chairman of the committee told us that, and I'd like to reiterate that before we get into the signing. The Peace Pact that we signed today is an indication and affirmation by the candidates that they affirm the process has been free and fair thus far. It is also an act to indicate that they are committing to accept the results of the 31st poll, and also that they are affirming and committing themselves to supporting the eventual winner of the contest, the flag bearer of our party eventually. So this is a very solemn and a very important event. And to proceed, I'd like to invite our respected aspirants to take their seats on my right, and I will invite them in the order they appear on the ballot. Our first candidate or aspirant is the Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapon. The second person, the Honorable Dr. Brian Achiampong. His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educhu. And at number 5, the former General Secretary of our party, Engineer Kwabena Ejapon. So at this point, I would invite the chair of the committee to read the highlights of the compact that we're about to sign, and then we'll proceed to signing it. Thank you very much. Media, please. So please, media, and for those who are standing up, I think we have indicated we want to have a very clean event, so please minimize the disruptions, the movements, that we can have a very clean event. Thank you very much. The chairman is on the floor.
Thank you very much. Some little guidance for the contestants. You will receive copies of the document each, and each one of you has his or her name. You will sign where your name is, the first one. Then you pass it on to the next one. Then the next person will sign his name on where you started, and it goes on to the next one, so that by the time it goes round, every one of you would have signed all the 5 copies that have been sent to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the terms of the Peace Pact. One, acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the process has been conducted in accordance with the principles of transparency, fairness, participatory or inclusive manner, with all the presidential candidates aspirants afforded full and equal opportunity to participate at every stage. We hereby formally acknowledge and expressly affirm satisfaction that we actively participated at every level of the process. 2, acceptance of presidential election results. we commit to accepting the results of the 1st January 2026 presidential primaries for the party, and we will respect the outcome irrespective of the results. We further reiterate and pledge to accept the outcome as a valid, authentic, and binding expression of the will of the delegates and the collective decision of the party. 3. Promotion of peace and cohesion. We pledge to work together to maintain peace and cohesion within the party before, during, and after the primaries. We will refrain from engaging in any actions or rhetoric that may disrupt party unity. 4. Commitment. We pledge to remain committed and loyal to the New Patriotic Party regardless of the outcome of the presidential election. We shall remain active, committed, and dedicated members of the party at all times and work hard to recapture power in 2028. 5. Support for the winner. We commit to diligently and conscientiously work to support the winner of the party's presidential primaries, both during the 2028 elections and in securing a sweeping or working majority in the next Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The support will be aimed at achieving the overall success of the New Patriotic Party. Enforcement mechanisms. Any disputes or violations of this MOU will be subject to resolution within the party's established internal dispute resolution mechanisms in accordance with the party's constitution. This MOU shall be in effect from the date of signing until after the 2028 general election. Thank you very much. Shall we give copies to the contestants each? Kindly pass on to the next one. Each one who's together, yes. Kindly give one to each one of them, please. That's right. high level. We commit to accepting the result in the sense. Is it I should repeat it or how? Should I come over? Too much noise. We have leadership with us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we have leadership in the room. Let's keep the noise down. DJ, please can you turn down the music, please? Thank you. There's too much noise. Please. We can do this in quiet. Following the signing by the aspirants, we have a list of witnesses who would also sign. Witnesses include His Excellency, the former President John Adjekun Kufuor, who will sign his portion later because he's not able to be with us today. The former President, His Excellency Nana Addo-Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who the country misses, will sign as a witness. The acting chair of our party, Mr. Dankwa Smith-Bute, would sign as a witness. The General Secretary of the party, Mr. Justin Kodia Frimpong, will sign also as a witness. The chair of the Council of Elders, the Honorable Dr. Hackman Owusu Ajiman, will also sign as a witness. The former First Lady, the former Chief of Staff, our brother, the Honorable Akosia Frema Osei Opare, who is the chair of Council of Patrons, will also sign as a witness. And last but not least, the indefatigable Honorable
Alexander Apenyo Markins will sign also as a witness. No, Martin. After the signing by the various witnesses that have been announced, the chair of the Presidential Election Committee will lead the affirmation again for all the candidates, and then will present a copy to each of them. That will follow shortly. Please indulge us. We are attempting to sign all of it and everybody to sign because the live copy will be presented to the candidates right here and we must make sure they're all signed. So please, in a few minutes, we'll all be done.
Mr. President, Acting National Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank my team of saints, as I call them today, the 5 contestants, very much for appending their signatures on this document. It is a commitment they have made. But let me also assure the contestants that, as we have said, the committee has so far worked with you to the extent that none of you has an issue with the work we have done. We are handing over the rest of the election to two national institutions which we each have confidence in. However, if there is evidence at any polling station that anything was done or tolerated that affects the integrity of the election at that polling station, we will take steps to annul the results from that station. That assurance, on behalf of the committee, I want to give it to you. We gave that assurance before the Electoral Commission. The EC chair herself said so, that if there's any evidence brought to her to show that any misconduct has affected the integrity of any particular poll, that particular poll will be annulled. So be assured, if we see anything that you think affects, please bring it to our attention. We'll investigate, and if we affirm, we will take the necessary steps to protect the integrity of the election. Thank you very much. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So the process is almost done. The chair would present the signed copies to the candidates, signifying their commitment and affirmation that the process thus far has been free and fair, and that they have committed themselves to accepting the results of the 31st elections, and that they have committed themselves to support the eventual winner of the polls. Thank you very much. That was a beautiful exercise. They stand today as competitors, but their presence here and act shows that they are committed to the higher act and duty of protecting peace and unity of our party. Thank you very much. I'll invite Dr. Tibudako to carry on with the rest of the program.
Thank you very much. Please, the photographers, can you move back a little bit? And if we can have some silence, we'd now like to invite the former President of the Republic of Ghana, our own Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Acting Chairman of our great party, Minority Leader in Parliament, the Inspector General of Police, the former Chief of Staff, members of the National Peace Council, members of the National Executive Committee of the party, the Chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, distinguished presidential aspirants, Chairman of the Council of Elders, honorable elders and members of the party, fellow patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm honored to be here at a moment that is significant, not only for the new patriotic party, but also for Ghana's democratic journey. Let me begin by congratulating our national officers, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, and all who have worked diligently to organize these primaries coming up in just 9 days' time. You are overseeing a process involving the largest number of delegates in the history of our party. That achievement speaks to the growth, depth, and democratic maturity of the new patriotic party. We're gratified by the presence of the Inspector General of Police and his senior officers at this ceremony, and by the undertakings he has given us today. there are reassuring signals that the proceedings of 31st January 2026 will be conducted in peace and security. IGP will count on you and your men and women to do a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, our party did not begin today, even though a handful of us were privileged enough to be around in its early days. It did not begin yesterday. Its roots go back to 1947 with the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, from which the Dankwa Domno Busia tradition proudly draws its lineage. At that founding moment, a clear and principled decision was taken. Leadership will be determined by the ballot, not by force, intimidation, or intrigue. George Alfred Park Grant was unanimously elected president and chairman. J.P. Dankwa and R.S. Blay became vice presidents. R.A. Awona Williams served as treasurer. The other members of that inaugural executive committee were Edward Akufo-Addo, Emmanuel Obeche Bilamte, J.W. de Graaf Johnson, John Sybil, and Kwabena Kese. They were men of strong views and strong personalities, but they were united by discipline, mutual respect, patriotism, and an unshakable belief in orderly democratic process. From that beginning emerged a lesson that still guides us today. While the ballot must decide who becomes what, the true test of our internal democracy lies in the conduct of winners and losers alike, before, during, and after the contest. That lesson was reaffirmed in 1992 after the first presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. Once the party chose Professor Albert Eduboahene as our flag bearer, all the other aspirants, including Dr. Kofi Jane Selby, Mr. John Ajekun Kufuor, and Dr. Kwame Safuedu, closed ranks and supported him. I was campaign manager of the flag bearer at the time, and I saw firsthand what unity meant, how discipline, sacrifice, and collective purpose strengthened the party, even under the most difficult conditions of the time. That spirit must guide us still. Fellow patriots, a party that cannot manage victory with humility or defeat with dignity cannot expect to win the confidence of the Ghanaian people. As we are reminded, a house divided against itself cannot stand. In such a house is certainly not attractive to the electorate. Ghanaians are watching not only what we say, but also how we behave. I know the campaign has generated some heat among aspirants and supporters. I believe I'm qualified to say that we have seen it all before. Do not be discouraged by the excesses. The thirst for power and the unity required to win power must combine to motivate us to choose fraternity over factionalism once the primaries are over. Permit me another personal reflection. In 1998, I contested the presidential primaries and came second to John Ajekun Kufuor, subsequently the second president of the Fourth Republic. When the contest ended, I did not hesitate. I became his chief campaigner. That decision was not about convenience. It was about conviction. The unity we demonstrated then helped deliver the first historic presidential victory of the NPP in 2000. And when years later it became my turn, beginning in 2008, I received the same level of loyalty and support from those who had once competed against me. That tradition of fraternity carried us through difficult moments and enabled us to win and serve God. This is the inheritance we must protect. We should never forget that the ideology of the new patriotic party remains deeply attractive to the majority of Ghanaians. Our commitment to individual liberty and the respect for human rights, private enterprise, the rule of law, human development in a society of shared prosperity resonates across this country. When we falter, it is really because our ideas have failed. This peace pact, this commitment pact, is therefore not a mere ceremony. It is a solemn covenant, a commitment that ambition will not override fraternity, that competition will not descend into hostility, and that once the ballot has spoken, the party will move forward as one. To the aspirants gathered here today, your conduct will shape the moral tone of the NPP and the future of our country. Your supporters, the grassroots, and the youth of this party are watching you. History will judge not only who wins, but also how all of you conduct yourselves. Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived. Over the remaining days, let your campaigns be firm but fair, competitive but respectful. Ours is a tradition that rejects fear, insults, intimidation, and bitterness. Loyalty to individuals must never supersede loyalty to the party. After the primaries, there must be one party, one direction, one destiny. Let me end with confidence on a positive note. I have no doubt that the new patriotic party remains the best vehicle with the best ideas for Ghana's future. Our duty is to keep that vehicle united, disciplined, and worthy of the trust of the Ghanaian people. If we honor our history, respect one another, and put party and country above self, the future of the NPP and of Ghana herself will indeed be bright. I thank you, and I wish us all a peaceful, dignified, and unified process. May God bless the NPP and our homeland Ghana, and make both great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The chairperson for the event, our acting national chairman, would now give us the closing remarks.
Your Excellency, the former President, thank you so much. IGP, Peace Council, Council of Elders, my executives, my party members present, aspirants, Presidential Election Committee, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy today for hearing what the IGP said, meaning there will be peace during and after the elections. Thank you, IGP. I wish all the 5 aspirants best of luck. I know Saturday coming will be the day of the elections, and you know that one of you will become the winner. And as my father said, we are one party. We don't have any party apart from NPP, New Patriotic Party. I thank all of you for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Before the closing prayer, we'd just like to take the official photographs so that we are able to do that in an organized manner. Because we have dignitaries here, and we know that if we do the closing prayer, there will be confusion because then we've ended. So we just ask for the next 5 minutes, we'll take official photographs, we'll say the closing prayer, and then we can finish with the media press briefing. So we'd like to invite the 5 aspirants to stand up. Please stay where you are. And yes, please. I'll give the mic to the chairperson of the General Secretary to tell us the manner in which everyone must stand for the photos.
So what we do is that we ask the aspirants to come in front and hold your hands. Please, we want you to stand in front of the table, then hold your hands. Yes, you can stand in front of us, here, in front of us. Then you face the camera. Please move back. Please move back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you hold your hands. You hold your hands. You hold your hands. Fantastic. Yes, photographers can take the pictures. So continue to be where you are. We ask our revered dignitaries on the high table to join the aspirants whilst we take a group picture. So please, let's join the aspirants. Let's join them. Let's join them.
Please, the dignitaries join them first. Would like to invite the IGP. So these are the aspirants and the witnesses.
And so there you have it. In the last couple of hours, all 5 aspirants of the New Patriotic Party have been signing the Peace Pact, the first of its kind in the history of the NPP and to stretch of any other political party to internalize what we see in the general elections, where the National Peace Council compare every single candidate, presidential candidate in our national elections to commit to peace and the processes of the general election before, during, and after the election. That's what the NPP has implicated here at Alisa Hotel here in Accra. A number of dignitaries are here to witness this, also giving some messages to all of the 5 aspirants in the last couple of hours. Thus, the former president of the Republic, President His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is the man who, the bigwig who has been the witness, one of the key witnesses to this, the former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as well as former president John Ajekun Kufuor, are the 2 key witnesses to all of what we have witnessed here, together with other big wigs of the party, including the minority leader, the chairman of the Council of Elders, Hakman Osuajiman, the chairperson for the Patriot Caucus, who is also the former chief of staff of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Frima Osel Pare, have all signed as witnesses to this program. You see the former speaker of the Parliament of Ghana, Professor Aaron Michael Kwe, who led the committee that went into the fact-finding mission into why the NPP lost the 2024 election, also shaking hands with the candidate a while ago. They were all here. The leader of the national or the election security task force, the Inspector General of Police, in his remark, for instance, talks about the fact that they have done a thorough scanning of all of the 300 polling stations plus polling stations that will be holding the elections on January 31. They have had adequate security briefing on the matter, and also revealing that police personnel ranging between 70 to as much as 150 men will be deployed to every single polling station across the country during the election day. He also indicated that Boku is a special case as far as the election security is concerned. And so what they have done now is to let the military lead the election securities in Boku, as they also requested the military to be on standby across the country for any form of reinforcement as far as security situations are concerned, warning that none of the candidates must deploy any macho men or personal security on the day of the election. Also cautioning the party leadership to stay away or not to call him if they enforce the law, and make sure they arrest anyone who wants to disrupt the peace of the election on the day of the election. That is what the Inspector General of Police have been telling us here in his remark as the head of the security for the election, indicating that all is set for January 31 for this election. The chairman of the election committee, for instance, Mr. Honorable Joseph Osei-Usu, who is also a former First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, indicated the terms of the election, indicating that all of the aspirants, as part of the terms of the election, are committed to accept the processes of the election. They are committed, or they have committed to accept the outcome of the election. They are also committed to supporting the party in all of its work, especially ahead of the 2028 general election, to gain victory for the party. The minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, for instance, also bemoaned how this opposition, how painful and lonely the opposition is, and how friends deject them and all of that. Let's speak to a former General Secretary of the party, Mr. Boydu. Mr. Boydu, turn this way for me, for my camera. I just want to first of all get your impression. You would have been leading this. What's your impression about what has happened today?
I think that is very beautiful, it's symbolic, and clearly from the statement from all the speakers clearly tells the aspirants to understand that it is the party that's more important. It is unity after the elections that will lead to whoever emerges as the winner getting the support of the party for victory. So I think that it's important, and if you look at the details of what constitutes the pact, I think that all of them, from what I see around, will abide by it.
Do you get the assurance that all of them will adhere, especially the bit that talks about refraining from incendiary comments that could inflame passion in the party during the campaign?
That one we are almost over. We only have about 9 days here.
A lot could happen in 9 days.
That we only have about 9 days, and for what has been done, and most often some of these statements, when it comes, the reaction of the public itself tell the people who may have gotten themselves involved in such language to feel remorse. And I think that so far we are there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Boydu is a former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, and he has also been here to witness the program. We'll try and speak to a number of the dignitaries that are here to witness this as well. I see the first deputy minority leader, deputy minority leader of Parliament, Honorable Patricia PJ here. Honorable, I just want a brief one from you. Which is your impression about what has happened? Do you get the assurance that your candidate will commit to the terms of the peace?
My candidate? Yes. I haven't declared.
I mean, your candidate, as in all 5 of them.
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. Because the messages that have been issued out here, all these messages indicate that the party is bigger than the individual. And it's not just that. I mean, the need to come together, because it's a process of choosing the leader. If we've gone through it, it doesn't mean the end of the game. So we are sure that members have really understood the message and they are going to live by it.
The only challenge is about the enforcement, especially punitive measures, if they go against some of these things.
That is the reason why we have witnesses here. We have the witness in the group of National Peace Council. And we have other witnesses. We've taken all these pictures to prove in the future that we were here when you admitted. You can't just say something and go against it. Yes.
Thank you so much. The Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Patricia PJ there, telling us her impression about what has happened. Let me try and see if I can get any of the candidates to speak to get their impression so far and their commitment. The General Secretary of the party is there. I see Brian Champon, who is also one of the candidates, having a chit-chat here with the former NPP parliamentary candidate for the Honorable. He is having some conversation with some members of the party, having some chit-chat here as they try to fraternize with other members of the party as they make their way out of here as far as this program today is concerned. And the bigwigs have given us the indication that, in fact, signing as witnesses to this is more indication that they are committed. Honorable, I just want a quick one from you. Do we have your assurance to go by the terms of the pact you have signed this afternoon?
Without more. Absolutely without more. I'm a party person. I sign on to this when we fill the form that we abide by the rules of the game. But this goes beyond the rules of the game. This is what one must do. One, be civil, conduct a decorous campaign, and ensure that you speak to your supporters. But most importantly, when you lose the elections, you support whoever wins the elections. And in this case, I know I'm going to win, and I pray that the others will also come and support me. That is just what you do. It's politics.
The bit that many are concerned about is the call to stay away from inflammable comments and character assassination of your competitors. If I say your competitors, not directly to you, but all of you, the candidates, do we get that assurance that those kind of comments will not come from the Brian Champon camp?
But we've been on this for 6 months minimum. 6 months we've been on this. I think largely it's been very, very civil. In the last 1.5 weeks, I don't think anything is going to pop out of anybody's mouth that will create any problem for ourselves and for the party. Largely, I expect it to remain so.
Whoever wins will get your support.
I'm going to win, and I pray that I get their support. But in the very unlikely event that anybody else emerges a winner, absolutely, I will support the person.
What are your numbers looking like as we speak?
Come to the office.
Thank you so much. Brian Champon is one of the members of.
We beg you, we have next meeting. I beg you, please. I beg you, please. I beg you.
Brian Champon is one of the candidates in the election, indicating to us that they are ready to commit to the peace of the terms of the Peace Pact they have signed so far. And that is how we wrap it here with the signing of the Peace Pact. That assurance has been given from all levels of the party structure, from the party executives to patrons of the party to the Council of Elders, and even the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, indicating his support to all of the 5 members, all of the 5 candidates. And so the candidates themselves have committed to this, and we see how it plays in the next coming days. James Abeji here. What is happening next is the National Executive Council NEC meeting of the party to take some key decisions as they move forward. James Abeji here for Joy News.